Hey, du bist da und das reicht mir auch schon. Also drück Start, lehn dich zurück, denn es wird auch heute wieder ernsthaft unernst. Und damit wieder mal willkommen zu einer nächsten Folge von Grounded. Ich habe mich entschieden, dass ich nochmal sämtliche Dateneinträge zeigen möchte und ich habe schon gemerkt, die Aufnahme wird lang genug, dass es dann wieder eine eigene Folge wird. Deswegen, ja, kommt das jetzt dann einfach. Vorlesen werde ich sie nicht, aber ihr könnt sie euch selber gerne nochmal durchlesen und so weiter. Nochmal alle Monster bzw. die ganzen Käfer. Viel dazu sagen werde ich jetzt allerdings wirklich nicht. Die Audios werde ich allerdings für euch nochmal abspielen. So, das war's dann soweit. Bei den Wendell-Sachen, da kann ich zum Glück eigentlich alles abspielen.
Prominent Practical Technologies Dr. Wendell Tully, Science Division, log 87.08.31c. Today's gluon trials were a complete failure. Apparatus destroyed, no useful test data. Perhaps Dr. Klein was right. Another year's research down the drain. I had felt so sure of it. For my sake, I need success. But nothing is working. Not the gluon, nor the scabby, not even the confounded napkin bags. But what if I revisited an older project? No. Oh, no, definitely not. Perhaps, no. Wait, that's it. The shrink machine. Initial explorations had been promising before Dalton put the kibosh on it. I could set it up in the basement. If I showed that it worked, surely they could not argue with results. It's worth a try. What do I have to lose?
Jetzt habe ich ja inzwischen so gut wie alle Infos und kann doch nochmal etwas dazu sagen. Dieser Dalton, der hier erwähnt wird, das ist Direktor Schmecktor.
Prominent Practical Technologies Dr. Wendell Tully, Science Division, log 87.12.18, 87.12.19. It's past midnight now, but the covalent space reducer prototype is complete. Otherwise known as the shrinking machine, I've dubbed it the spacer. I should get some rest, but the kids are already asleep. Trudy's given up and gone to bed, and I'm eager to find out if all these months of work were worth it. Everything should be sound, but you never know until you flip the switch. Well, here goes nothing. Supplemental log, complete failure. Oh, why do I even try? I'll clean this mess up in the morning. Supplemental log, Prominent Practical Technologies, Tully. Oh, whatever, I'll sort it later. The important thing is I have done it! Success! The spacer has worked its magic. I have successfully shrunk a set of basic plastic polyhedral dice from the size of standard dice to no bigger than the size of, well, much smaller dice. Burgle, make a note to come up with a better comparison.
Noting.
You did it nonetheless. This is a complete exoneration. However, it occurs to me that I have a new problem. The dice were intended to be young Thor's Christmas present. He will be disappointed. But perhaps I can convince him that they were miniature dice. The tiny instructions might be a bit of a giveaway. A new solution may be required. To the Fun Pit Toy Mart before they close. Dominant Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tully, Science Division, log 88.05.29G. Oh, or is that H? H for safety. Final evaluation tests of the spacer are going well, though I have noticed some minor errors in transcription where a non-trivial number of particles are not being conserved. I have observed no ill side effects, but making a note to check that later.
Making a note.
I'm still annoyed by Dr. Klein's attitude at the barbecue when I confided in him about my success. He was arrogant, as always, dismissing my breakthroughs in covalent spacing reduction, questioning the very use of shrinking technology. What a ridiculous lack of vision. World hunger, overpopulation, global warming, just the tip of the iceberg. Dominant Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tully, Science Division, log 88.06.23A. Finally, my genius is recognized. My ominous minders have requested a demonstration of the spacer. I do wonder how they even found out about it. No doubt it was the loose lips of that blabbing Klein. But perhaps his indiscretion has worked in my favor in this instance, and I will have the last laugh. Once Omen sees what I have accomplished here, I will prove that their many years of investment in me was not a mistake. How it will feel to have them watch me in my moment of triumph. This is what I have been working toward my entire career. Recognition at last. Dominant Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tully, Science Division, log 88.07.01. First test demonstration of the spacer. Director Dalton Schmechter in attendance. Begin recording. Everyone, thank you for coming. Today, I will show you nothing less than a quantum leap forward in technology. This is the spacer. It is a machine that has the power to shrink any object many times over, unleashing the power of the miniature world. Now, I'm sure that some of you will be skeptical, but I have no doubt that a demonstration of this device will show you a vision of the future, of Ominent's future, of our future. Now, if you will all put on your peeper goggles, I'll begin the demonstration. Behold, the future! No. Everyone, please stay in your seats. Please stay in your seats. This is a minor issue, I assure you. Just give me a moment. I can fix this. I can fix this. Dominant Practical Technologies, Dr. Wendell Tully, Science... scratch that. Dr. Wendell Tully, Ph.D. At least they can't fire me from that. My years of work on the spacer mattered little to Ominent. The project was shut down and I was shown the door. And yet Kaminsky still works there, and he's an idiot. I've been reduced to substitute teaching at the local school. How many times can one person be expected to explain the difference between a vector and a scalar? If it has direction, then it's a scalar. I mean, a vector. Oh! I swear the ignorance around me is contagious. Does that normal teacher do anything? No wonder my inventions cannot be appreciated. Our society no longer understands science.
Übrigens, weswegen ich gerade noch mal ganz kurz die Audio hier oben angeklickt hatte, was das Datum angeht, dazwischen scheinen 1,5 Monate vergangen zu sein und dann wurde er hier scheinbar gefeuert. Aber geht es erstmal weiter hier.
I've thought about this in circles for days now, and I've come to a decision. It's time to restart spacer development. Ominent may not believe in it, but I know its potential. Though I must figure out how to return shrunk objects to their original size. The first step will be to address the particle transcription errors. It seems almost certain that the irregularities are responsible for the failure during the demonstration. Burgle, please bring up all the lab data about the unknown particles.
Happy to be of service. Notes will be prepared and delivered to your table in 4 hours or less.
4 hours? What are the chances for less?
Delivery estimate will be prepared in 2 hours or less.
An auspicious beginning. I have isolated the source of the particle irregularities. They appear to be a byproduct of the shrinking process. If I adjust the machine to account for their existence, it should be the key to the de-shrinking, expanding process. Burgle, please bring up the readings for the irregular covalent SNPI 42Z particle traces. Ugh, that name is going to get tiresome. And while you're at it, rename all references to the irregular covalent SNPI 42Z particle to raw science.
Order received. Raw science identified. Does it require cooking, flipping, or grilling?
No, none of those. Categorization.
That answer is not permitted, according to health code standards governing the handling of raw food items.
So, hier haben wir mal eines der wenigen Textlogs. Ich würde, wie gesagt, auch weiterhin nichts mehr vorlesen, weil das einfach zu viel ist. Aber ihr könnt euch das selber gerne durchlesen. Ich versuche einigermaßen langsam durchzuscrollen, dass ihr auch regelmäßig Pause machen könnt. Aber hier ist sogar schon von einem Minotaur-Escape die Rede. Also, ja, von dem Minotauren-Schlüssel vielleicht. Beziehungsweise daran schon mal eine Anspielung oder, ja.
One success after another! I have returned Burgle to his original size! It appears that my new raw science containment field is working at 99% effectiveness.
98.5%.
Right, Burgle, right. However, as Burgle indicates, there is some minor, insignificant raw science leakage. A note for another time.
Noted.
But I see no reason to put off a human trial. I believe there should be no issues. But audentes fortuna juvat. I am ready to prove my creation's full potential. End recording. Burgle, I'd like to record some messages for my family in case things do not go as planned. I was a fool to have ever doubted myself. A fool like Klein, like Kaminsky, like Schmechter, like all of Ominent. I am here in the backyard. Down in the backyard. I mean, I am speaking to you from the backyard. I am tiny! I should gather my thoughts. This is a momentous occasion. Wendell Tolley official log 89.08.05. Recording as I take my first steps into the miniature world. The sights are unbelievable. The textures, the way the light falls upon every surface, the subtle patterns in all of the objects that surround me, the grass. Even common lawn grass looks like a structure from an alien world. Wait, what's that sound? The very earth is trembling. Over there, what could it be? An ant! My God, today, the world has changed forever. This morning, I installed the borrowed lab modules. Another one of my forgotten inventions from the early days. I had such grand notions back then. The Kinder Science Mini Quick Little Chemist Lab educational toy for children. But no, Wendell, we can't possibly put hydrochloric acid into the hands of children. The lawyers will never agree. It's a good thing I never told them about the Bunsen burners. Odd that Ominent has been using my toy pieces in this way. I digress. The lab network is now up and running in the backyard. I'm planning to dedicate each one of them to a different function. Main power will run through here. The Oak Lab is the center of operations for the backyard. The second lab is nestled into the hedge. Such wonderful views from up there. Side note, I'm worried that Ominent's shoddy manufacturing of the lab pieces will cause them to fall apart over time, but they will do for now. Now let's review the progress of the last few months. I am getting ever closer to perfecting the spacer. Raw science containment has been a success. At last measurement, we are within 0.2% translation accuracy, but those final infinitesimal bits have proven the most difficult. Despite that, Burgle and I have been able to transit the miniature world without incident. I must admit it has been a bit overwhelming of late. Between school, grading papers, nightly work in the yard, and this sweltering summer heat, I feel stretched thin. Some nights I find myself too exhausted to work on my experiments. All this is going to give me gray hairs. I mean, why, just the other day, Trudy said that the stress is putting new wrinkles on my face. She may have a point about the hair, though. As much as I'm loath to admit it, it does seem to be thinning. Perhaps it's time to dig out the Sketty clamp and try it on myself. I'm sure it's in a bin or box around here somewhere.
Na gut, er hat Haarausfall, okay. Jetzt geht es auf jeden Fall wieder weiter vom September bis 1. September, also sogar ein bisschen in die Vergangenheit. Das ist ein bisschen unerwartet, aber okay.
The Kinder Science lab modules have not held up as well as anticipated. I thought hiding these lab units in the hedge would provide a bit of protection from my rampaging children. But it appears not even the sanctuary of these leaves can protect my work from an errant flingman disc. The subsequent breaches in the lab structures have invited all manner of arachnid invaders to wander in. My plan is to recalibrate the tasty bots for defensive action. A stopgap solution, to be sure, but I've no time for repairs, not when I'm so close to unlocking the mysteries of raw science.
Ich habe tatsächlich jetzt erst so richtig mitbekommen, dass man dieses Tasty Tea nicht Tasty Tea ausspricht, sondern das sind Tasty Bots, also zu Deutsch lecker schmeckende Roboter. Der ist ja wirklich die gesamte Zeit nur auf Burger aus und so. Wie verfressen ist der eigentlich?
For so long, I have felt taunted by the spiders of the yard. Climbing, crawling, skittering with the greatest of ease. Oh, and how they delight in violating my workspace. I can't take a single step without getting stuck in their confounded webbing. I'm wasting daylight, running, climbing, surviving, traversing this broken lab. The entire yard, for that matter, has become untenable. But perhaps my spider friends hold the key to my problems. Today, Trudy asked, or rather insisted, I take a break from my work for a family day. I'll admit the argument that preceded my reluctant agreement was one for the ages. She just doesn't understand how important the work is. But in the end, all was not lost. As fate would have it, our little trip to Stormin Beach's Wave Park has given me fresh inspiration. A particular attraction sported a zip line over an undulating pool filled with sun-baked tubers, basking in the light of the cruel sun that baked them like red raisins. But I digress. It was the zip line that captured my imagination. Such an elegant solution to my problems in the hedge. When we got home, it was straight back to work. After another argument, of course.
Okay, jetzt bin ich auch noch so ein kleines bisschen interessiert. Hier ist ja vom Sturmstrand Wellenpark die Rede. Der nächste Teil, der übrigens schon Ende nächsten Monats releasen wird, der wird in einem Park an und für sich spielen. Jetzt bin ich ein bisschen gespannt. Sturmstrand Wellenpark klingt eher nach einem Wasserpark. Das wird es wahrscheinlich nicht sein, aber wenn das der Name wäre, fände ich das irgendwie schon auch cool.
Early test runs on the zipline system have produced mixed results. Prices on steel cable are ridiculous, so I've been forced to proceed with my original idea, spider thread. I'm using web samples from my unwanted guests with a few clever alterations, of course. Things were going well until Sarah threw yet another toy into the hedge. I swear that the lost city of Atlantis might be found beneath the roots of this blasted bush. I told them both. No baseballs, no flingman discs, no more throwing. I'll need to find a way to strengthen the zip lines, and I've forbidden the children from playing in the yard, temporarily, of course. Dinner will be, I would say, awkward, I suspect. Slowly, my torments come together into one ingenious solution. After trying countless materials, I finally found something to fix my zipline problem. While the bonding formulas were complex to say the least, I've successfully fused the web ropes with raw science. Once again, it proves to be the key. The new ropes are miraculously soft, but have the tensile strength of forged steel. I've dubbed my new creation Zippy Fiber. Just think of the practical applications.
Dental floss.
Oh, only something without gums would suggest that. This is not some trifle to pick parsley between trips to the periodontist.
I will take your word for it, Dr. Tully.
It is likely that this will be my last log from the hedge lab. Regrettably, the spider infestation has only worsened. Last night, I had a close encounter with a giant brood mother that shook me to my core. Couple that with the strange radio signals I've been receiving, and I no longer think this facility is safe.
Burgle here. Can I start you off with a double-charred barbarian bacon burger? It's made the Roby's way.
Burgle, initiate evacuation protocols for the hedge lab. Make sure any remaining biometric scanners and passcodes are encrypted in the mainframe.
Is that really necessary, sir?
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely necessary. We're being watched.
Okay, also erstmal fand ich das zwischendurch schon ich glaube, in der Audio lustig, dass wirklich darüber geredet wird, das Haus, was hier im Hintergrund immer war, das gehört tatsächlich ihm. Wir sind wirklich in seinem Garten. Das ist nicht irgendwie so ein zufälliger Garten, wo wir einfach nur gestrandet sind oder so. Aber ja, ansonsten, Burgle hat natürlich so gar keine Lust auf irgendwie Verschlüsselung oder sowas oder hat dafür gar keine Notwendigkeit gesehen. Auch gut. Naja, aber wer hat ihn jetzt nun beobachtet? Aber springen wir erstmal in der Zeit tatsächlich ein paar Tage nur nach vorne. Das ist mal ausnahmsweise viel zu lesen. Und weiterhören.
Each member of the Tully family, excepting yours truly, looks at Brussels sprouts, the great cabbage of Belgium, with utter disdain. Within its densely packed leaves, a high-powered nutrient boost in a miniature form factor. And yet mealtime after mealtime, it is recklessly cast aside. Well, more for me. The body knows when it's lacking something. Funny that it doesn't tell the mind why, though. But I have taken the hint, and I'll do those brilliant horticulturalists of Belgium one better. You see, these little morsels are a prime candidate for experimentation in my new submersible multifunction lab. A closed-loop system complete with retractable solar dome. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Dr. Tully, it is almost time for your appointment.
Already? The joys of getting older. Trudy pushed me to go see a doctor after she remarked that I looked like a plate of wet ham. Very well. Mustn't be late and keep Dr. Applebaum waiting.
Aber stimmt, jetzt wo ich die Audio gehört habe, in den Teichsachen ging es großteils wirklich nur um diese Muskelsprosse. Naja.
Dr. Applebaum has pronounced me in perfect health. For a man 20 years my senior, I must face the facts. The gray hairs, the wrinkles, they are not figments of the imagination. I can draw only one reasonable conclusion. It is the elusive fractional errors of the shrinking process which are the cause. Trudy has asked that I discontinue my experiments, but what choice do I have? If I quit now, I will have nothing. What will I be other than a failed inventor and scientist with no discoveries to his name, unable even to teach the basics of physics to a gaggle of hormonal teenagers? No! If this means that I must sacrifice 20 years of my life, then so be it. This time you've gone too far, Wendell Tully. You've done the unthinkable, trespassed the unforgivable. You missed Thanksgiving dinner. Who can blame Trudy? I know that I pushed things to the breaking point and that she has grit her teeth and borne it. She told me that she could not bear to watch me destroy my life, let alone hers, the children's, in single-minded pursuit of this technology. Never in all the years of knowing her has she given me such a cold, immovable ultimatum. My science or my family. But if only she could see. I am doing this for them. I understand it has been hard. It has been harder on no one more than myself. If only I had more time. If I could just prove to them the wonders that are so close now, they would understand, wouldn't they? And if they did not, perhaps they never understood me at all.
Ach so, da fällt mir übrigens gerade wieder ein, das waren ja hier auch immer mal wieder so ein paar interessante Begriffe, hydroponisch und ja. Ich weiß nicht mehr hundertprozentig, wie das war. Müsste ich dann noch mal gucken. Hatte ich unter den Teichfolgen in der Beschreibung auch geschrieben gehabt. Das war auf jeden Fall so eine Mikrokultur, die erstellt wird, was es tatsächlich sogar gibt, dass Sachen, gerade Pflanzen oder Samen, in kleinen Wasserbehältern gegeben werden und wirklich dort heranreifen und wachsen und dort gezüchtet werden können. Komplett nur im Wasser und dass nur Wasser in die Nährstoffe getan wird. Ich glaube, das war das hydroponisch. Dann gibt es noch aquaponisch, wo der Unterschied eigentlich nur ist, dass dann auch Fische mit in dem Tank sind und dass es quasi wie so ein gegenseitiges Nehmen und Geben ist. Also einfach so eine Symbiose, beziehungsweise ich bin mir nicht mal sicher, wie viel die Pflanzen denn davon haben, aber die Fische haben auf jeden Fall die Pflanzen sofort zum Fressen und ja, genau das sind diese komplizierten Begriffe, die hier zwischendurch ab und zu mal auftauchen. Wollte ich nur noch mal angemerkt haben.
Trudy was right, as always. Perhaps she should have been the inventor and not me. I should have listened to her when she insisted that I stop the experiments. But if I pack it up now, I will have nothing to show for it. No Trudy and the kids, no spacer, not even my own health. The longer I'm here, the more I'm lumping up, aging, folding, raisening. But why? What am I becoming? A wrinkly virus, flailing helplessly in the dirt with the mushrooms. They are my family now. Though we only branched on the evolutionary tree a little over 1 billion years ago, I can feel us getting closer again already. We're all a bunch of fun guys down here, aren't we? Oh, don't look at me like that. At least no one ever heard of a raisined mushroom, did they? Did they? Attempts to reverse cell age in mushrooms seem to be going well. Mutations are volatile but productive. The shift from phase 1 to 2 was almost a blur.
There might be a reason it seemed like a blur, if I may be so bold.
Well, who asked you, Burgle? Shouldn't you be tending to your tasks instead of eavesdropping through the intercoms? Huh? Now, where was I? Oh, yes. My friends, Marasmius aureatus here. The answer is hiding in that moist, supple flesh. And once I have it, I'll be back to normal Wendell in no time. Just like it was before this all fell apart. I'll walk into that presentation room and show those ominent schmucks I belong. How do you like that, Director Schmechter? Trudy and the kids will come back. Everything will be back to normal. I just need these blasted shrooms to reveal their secrets to me.
Forgive me, Dr. Tully. Did you say you wanted mushrooms on that?
Okay, ich bin mir nicht so zu 100% sicher, was mit ihm jetzt Phase war. Entweder war er in der Audio ziemlich betrunken oder er hat von diesen Pilzen genascht. Auf jeden Fall war er nicht auf voller Höhe.
This has gone poorly. Very, very poorly. The essence of failure, the pinnacle of its craft. Local fauna? Berserk! Mushrooms? Exploding! My condition? Like a baby toe after a long bath. Burgle, are you there?
Is this a test?
Yes, Burgle, it's a test. Now listen carefully. I'm abandoning this facility immediately. Initiate the Blazed Earth Protocol.
But Dr. Tully, simulations indicate a 95.283% probability of catastrophic failure.
I assure you the percentages are much higher than that. Now do it.
Beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop.
Why did you make fake beeping sounds?
You said this was a test.
I was being sarcastic. Ugh. Complete the lab lockdown, blast the canister per protocol, and meet me in the Black Ant Lab. Burgle has been behaving strangely. I have noted in some of our interactions that he has been taking liberties with my instructions besides his usual displays of incompetence. But just the other day, I heard him humming a tune about grilling. He thought I could not hear him, but I did. And I have told him again and again to eliminate that unnecessary function from his programming, and yet still I know he harbors secret thoughts of grilling. Oh. I was certainly right to isolate him from the experiments. One can only imagine how his malformed programming could be contaminating my research. I'll need to review my security protocols to make sure no further contamination occurs. The security cameras are now installed across the yard, and I've assigned Burgle to overseeing Tasty and Arker operations. A little insurance that my progress on raw science enrichment doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Neither ominent, nor insect, nor robot will have access to my research now. Burgle, I'd like to summarize the results of today's mixer trials.
Ready to take your dictation.
Trials 1 and 2 were aborted due to mechanical failure. Now, Trial 3. Trial 3 was interesting. Wait, Burgle, what is that?
It looks like a gathering of ants.
Well, I can see that, but what... Shut down the facility! Close the blast doors! It appears that the mixer has agitated some of the local fauna, so... That's enough for today, Burgle. The production of raw science concentrate has been, for better or worse, spread across the yard. Given the unseen hands that move against me, it seems that no precaution is too much. No suggestion from my paranoid psyche too preposterous. What a pathetic state of affairs. Overrun by an enraged ant colony, and here I stand, naked, to the unblinking eyes spying upon my every move. Layers of abandonment and failure, like a frumpy, naked failure onion. But who sheds a tear for us, Burgle? Is it the onlookers in the shadows? Is it whomever stumbles upon our toilings down here in the muck? This should please you all. Dr. Wendell Tully, humbled again. Well, enjoy your laughs, cruel winds of fate. But this onion has one more stink left to make. And sorry, old friend, but I'm going it alone. Deleting data stores and running lab lockdown procedures. Wendell out. I don't need this now. Abnormalities in the readings, unexpected power fluctuations, raw science run rampant.
Don't forget incursions by local fauna.
Mouthy robotic assistants. I'm so tired. All these new variables that need to be accounted for, they're ruining everything in my most desperate hour. It has all turned against me. Even as I walk around the backyard, I feel the walls of grass closing in on me, the tips of those green blades like daggers pointed at my heart. I see, no, I feel the unblinking, multifaceted eyes of the ants and spiders reflecting my misshapen visage, watching, always watching, and bearing witness to my failure. Perhaps it is time for me to lay down and admit defeat. Perhaps this is all the success that was meant for me. Perhaps it is enough. Working in the dark is playing tricks on my mind. I fear every shadow, hear whispers in the silence. But most of all, I miss my family. Ah, Trudy and her crooked grin, the way she rolled her eyes at my dumb jokes. Sarah, my little angel, how she would jump into my arms every time I walked through the door after work. And Thor in his obsession of the month. What was the last one? Castle Moldork? No. It was Mance. Dad, what do you mean I don't need Mant minis? Have you seen them? Do you even know what a Mant is? It's so rad, Dad. A barbarian, an insectoid warrior with the mind of a human that... Wait a minute. An insect with a human mind. I wonder if... No, stop it, Wendell. The darkness is giving you strange notions again. You need to focus on the task at hand. Reasoning. Raw science. The key is here. It must be... Raw science storage of this magnitude is tricky. It's imperative to keep it cool and out of the sun. Luckily, this crawl space is the perfect environment for both. Once the lab is complete, I can begin my trials of direct raw science infusion. I must know whether this byproduct particle originates from the subject or the process, as I originally assumed. The only way to know for sure is to infuse myself with variable doses. Dangerous? Quite. But it must be done, or I am doomed. If I can replenish these rogue particles in my body, perhaps I can finally reverse this raisinification. Defeat. Failure. Countless infusions. Countless migraines. I'm so shriveled now I can barely walk. And the true origin of raw science? An enigma. A mystery box with no lid. I don't think I have much longer. It is hard to think straight. I am so tired. I have only one option that remains. One last toss of the proverbial dice. Commence Project Mant. Project Mant is nearing completion. The first good news in as long as I can remember. Perhaps my previous failures have all led to this point. Wendepunkt, my defining moment. This new body will allow me to continue my research. I've created a super scientist. My checklist is complete. Consciousness transfer procedures will now begin. What's this? Brainwave functions are spiking. Impossible. Blasted hominin tech! Turn it off! Turn it off! Note to self. Check soldering on the relay diodes of the neural displacer. Again. Yes, again.
Okay. Habe ich das in der Audio jetzt richtig gehört, dass Wendepunkt einfach auf Deutsch, auf Englisch auch Wendepunkt ist? Das wäre irgendwie ziemlich weird. Würde ich irgendwie cool finden. Naja.
I cannot bear to look upon myself any longer. I've become a monster. Inhuman, less than the insects that are my only companions now. I've become old, well before my years. A shrunken husk of a man, a walking corpse like lurk and shriek, doomed to the executioner's axe. Trudy was right all along, as she always is. And what remains? I'm a failure as a scientist, as a husband, and as a father. I have no choice but to remain here, living exiled in the backyard. I have diverted my remaining strength and will into finding a cure for this malady, this raisinification, if you will. It is my only hope now. All other research initiatives must be placed on hold, or it will be too late. It may already be too late. It is only fitting that I am so small, tiny, minuscule, just like my legacy. The eyes, they are always watching. The backyard is watching. Strange noises, stranger occurrences, coincidences. Oh, I think not. Or is it my mind playing tricks on me? I feel the senility at the edges of my thoughts. I have grown so old. Just the other day, I found my tape recorder laying out that I knew I had put away. I would not have been so careless, and yet there it was. Could it have been Burgle? No. No. Such a conspiracy would be beyond his capabilities. Something darker is afoot. Ominent, perhaps. I knew it might be too great a risk to liberate that equipment from them. Whatever it is always watching. Ominent, surely. But how could they know? I took such precautions, and yet... Burgle, execute end-of-day procedures. Wait. Ignore that. I will see to it myself. It may be time for me to find a new venue for my research, away from all these eyes.
Scabby online. Transferring biometric data. Wendell Tully. Biometric data transfer complete. Audio file downloaded. Dr. Wendell Tully. Title: Goodbye.
Hello, my scabby-wearing friend. I do not know who you are or how you came by this message, but please tell them I tried. Tell Trudy, Thor, my little Sarah. Tell the world. The sun is setting on our yard, and it brings back so many memories. Sitting in this chair, my favorite chair, my thinking chair, I fear this may be the last time I lay eyes on such a beautiful sight. I'm nearly out of time. My body shrivels more with each passing day. Even my scabby can barely fit on my bony wrist. The spacer, my greatest achievement, a disaster. The final chapter in the book of my many failures. Perhaps in solitude, free from my family, from Burgle, from Ominent, perhaps I can finally find a cure to this damnable reasoning. So, this will be my last adventure into the miniature world. I leave the warmth of the sun and embrace the unknown. I'll either find the answer or shrivel in the darkness below. To my lab underneath the shed. This is Dr. Wendell Tully, signing off. Goodbye.
Tja, das war soweit erstmal alles von Wendell und das nimmt doch mehr Zeit in Anspruch, als ich eigentlich erwartet hatte. Deswegen, so, ich habe gerade nochmal geguckt, bei den Notizen und so weiter ist zum Glück nicht so viel. Die Folge geht zwar schon recht lang, aber ja, das geht zumindest alles deutlich schneller zu bearbeiten. Und wer sich einen Spaß draus machen möchte, kann übrigens nebenbei auch mal jeweils aufs Datum achten und gucken, wann es ist. Das hier ist halt genau zu Halloween 89 und das fast einen Monat später. Aber Praktikant, das war, wenn ich mich richtig erinnere, die kleine Leiche in der Höhle unter der Hecke. Könnte aber auch überall anders gewesen sein. Das seht ihr dann innerhalb meiner Folgen, wo ich das gefunden habe. Bei dem hier frage ich mich gerade, in welchem Labor das ist, aber okay. Ich habe alle Daten, von daher kann ich den nicht mehr finden. Aber es ist eigentlich interessant, diese Bilder, dass sie immer schon auf irgendwas Wichtiges hinweisen. Das habe ich auf jeden Fall von Direktor Schmecktor bekommen, da erinnere ich mich dran. Ja, die kann ich auch abspielen.
Verbal Transcription Unit 87.9.5. Order number 1.
Robot, I need you to monitor these power fluctuations and inform me if they exceed acceptable limits.
Hello, my name is Virgil, and I will be serving you today. I specialize in cooking, flipping, and grilling.
Grilling? A feature useful only to your obsolete burger-flipping brethren now consigned to the scrap heap? I need you to monitor these readings, Virgil. And isn't it redundant to specialize in cooking and grilling?
Understood. Appending monitor power fluctuations to my prime directive list. Deprioritizing grilling.
Good. Now get on with it.
Reprioritizing grilling. Verbal Transcription Unit 87.10.25. Order number 73.
I find it a wonder that the Burgle Mark IVs never caught on. I believe them to be far superior to the Mark IIIs. Those never lived up to my expectations.
How's that?
They can only calculate post-cooking burger weights to the nearest tenth of a pound. And they only had enough memory for one seasoning module, salt or pepper. All solved with you Mark IVs, not to mention your most excellent mustaches.
Thank you. I will never forget this moment. Verbal Transcription Unit 89.4.14. Order number 80.
Burgle, are you there?
Yes, sir. It appears that the shrinking process has not overly affected my functionality. I do not know how this is possible. I previously believed that all the parts of my functional unit were required for operation, but apparently they were not. Perhaps that means I have some extra storage space.
Haha, very philosophical. Do you feel anything else?
No, everything appears to be the same. Though I have come to realize that this world is absolutely covered in filth. It is quite concerning. You may wish to wash your hands before returning to work. Verbal Transcription Unit 89.10.5. Order number 20.
Burgle, did you organize my research notes on the material properties of the hedgeberries as I directed?
Of course. Well, no.
Good. Wait. Explain.
I have logged 110,437 different algorithms for organization and compiled them into an alphabetical list. That menu is being printed now and should be ready for review in approximately 12 weeks. After that is complete, I will be able to organize your research notes based on the algorithm you select.
Well, let me know when it's done then.
Virgo Transcription Unit 90.5.1, order number 43.
Do it again, Burgle, for old time's sake.
What's that, Dr. Tully?
Play the old script.
Right away! Hello, and welcome to Roby's Classic Automated Burger Shop. My name is Burgle, and I will be taking your order today. Perhaps I can interest you in the daily specials? My favorite is the Roby's 0.375 pounder with cheese, with a side of mammal-style fries.
That will do just fine, Burgle.
Remember the Roby Burger motto: make every day exponentially great.
Tja, das war's eigentlich mit den meisten normalen Dateneinträgen. Jetzt gibt es nur noch die Produkte hier, die man finden konnte. Das Benutzerhandbuch, daran erinnere ich mich gar nicht mehr. An die beiden zumindest. Also das Gap bekommt man ja direkt am Anfang sowieso. Benutzerhandbuch denke ich mal auch. Nur der Zipper, wo hier immer eine Laus drauf rennt, dass man die Seilrutschen auch hochrutschen kann, der war gut. Ameisentotem, Toten des Grauens, durchtränktes Rezept mit Frostschaden und nochmal durchtränkt. Ja. Die Passwortteile, Schlüssel und die Orte und Wunder, die kommen dann nochmal in der nächsten Folge dran. Da fehlen ja auch noch 2. Genau, einer im oberen Garten, einer im unteren. Und die kann ich halt erst, wie schon ein paar Mal erwähnt inzwischen, öffnen, wenn ich nochmal ein Stück weiter bin. Für diese Folge sollte das jetzt allerdings nun wirklich reichen. Ihr seht ja selber, das Spiel hat jetzt schon mehrfach gespeichert, weil ich so lange im Menü war. Ja, ansonsten war es das und in der nächsten Folge geht es dann weiter mit den ganzen Szenen. Also, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ihr kennt das ganze YouTuber-Gedöns. Kommentare, Likes, ich bin für alles dankbar. Und irgendwo in der Beschreibung werde ich dann auch noch meinen Twitch-Kanal verlinken.